you can just quickly introduce yourself to the audience.
Yes, of course. We'll switch to. Oh, oh no, sorry. What was that? Yeah, that
It's
works.
just the background.
Okay, I don't know what it's mirrored. The up. No matter. Welcome at Dein Deal, by the way. You don't see anymore the office. So I'm Dein Deal Chief Marketing Officer. I joined the company 3 years ago now. I previously worked in the SaaS industry mainly, and in CRM, SaaS solutions, and social also SaaS solutions. So I was pretty focused on retention marketing. And yeah, I joined Dein Deal, as I mentioned, 3 years ago with a great challenge, which was to rebuild completely as a team and the strategy. It was a great challenge for us.
Thank you. Perhaps I introduce myself just very quickly. My name is Stefan, country manager for Germany, Switzerland, Austria at Zeotap. Zeotap is a customer intelligence platform, so also a software as a service solution for basically a CDP with a little bit more intelligence. But let's talk about you, Arnaud. That's very interesting that you basically moved from SaaS sales into a CMO role in an e-commerce platform. So yeah, what made you decide to make this change?
Uh, a call from the Indeed CEO. I actually worked since the very beginning of my store, one of the two brands from the Indeed, I guess, the Indeed company. I worked since the very beginning on their CRM strategy and email strategy, and they were very happy with me. And after 10 years long, Alan was appointed as CEO of Dein Group, and he couldn't find a CMO that would match his expectations. So basically, he called me and told me, "Hey, Arnaud, you've done a great job with us, 10 years. We know you're a consultant now in all digital marketing. Instead of telling people what they should do, why don't you try to do by yourself and managing a team in this field?" To me, the challenge was really to rebuild completely the marketing strategy. I knew all the technical team. I knew how great they were. And I accepted the challenge. And that was quite exciting, very challenging at the beginning because I was focused on retention. I had to add acquisition marketing to my knowledge. So, and it was more B2C when I was working only B2B before, of course, doing consultancy for B2C companies, but it was very interesting, very challenging. And yeah, we've done great so far. I guess that's why I'm still here, by the way.
Okay, yeah, I mean, more than 3 years. I think you're not doing a bad job. Okay, you talked about the challenges and what kind of learnings from your previous job or from the different backgrounds you have served you well in your current role. So how do you overcome these challenges?
Well, the biggest challenge we had, it was to do more with less. So for me, it was ready to implement all the best practices I was doing evangelization for. That's marketing automation, wherever it's possible. So the first 3 months, I just asked all my team members, "Hey guys, what are you doing on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis? What are you always repeating? What doesn't have any value for you to just, let's say, like on Google Shopping, upload a file every day?" So it was just identify all these repeated tasks and see how we can automate them. And
Mhm.
we've automated all these tasks that had no value for a marketing manager to do. And I asked them, okay, focus now on reporting, on dashboarding, and on the strategy based on this KPIs that you will monitor every day. So it completely switched the way they were working. And of course, I need less people, but all the people I have, they are all super excited because now they are really focusing on adding value to the company instead of doing things that were just not interesting for them after some time. At first to learn, but then they were just getting tired of always doing things that didn't have any value.
Okay, and to create this value and to automate processes, did you then license different SaaS solutions you knew already from your previous jobs?
Yeah, fortunately, as I was working in the SaaS industry, we were always monitoring the competitions, always monitoring the different tools, and we have a great IT team that allowed me to move very smoothly and quickly to new solutions when needed, or to up, upscale what we were doing with existing tools. So it was so the difficult thing is really to identify what solution is the best of breed, and then agree with IT on what would add value to delegate some of the IT technical tasks to the marketing team securely. Once we've done that, it makes life easier for everybody, for IT because they have less work, less call from the marketing team, and for our team because they can really focus on the strategy.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, and I mean, let's talk a little bit about last year and this year. I think as an e-commerce company, yeah, COVID or the COVID times were quite interesting for you, right? Or for Dein Deal. And McKinsey talked about the quickening, right? Where e-commerce experienced basically a 10 years worth of growth in just 3 months. How was it for Dein Deal? Can you tell us a little bit more about what last year happened at Dein Deal, sorry, and yeah, how the pandemic worked out for you basically.
Yeah, I do confirm the quickening effect of of the COVID for us. Uh, that's where having a very agile team and organization is super important, because we had to switch priorities very fast and to launch things that were expected within 2 years, like uh, B2B B2B solutions in order to be able to deliver masks to companies.
Mhm.
Um, so it was a whole organization that switched completely the way we were working, and the first one was our supply chain, um, because as we figured out that we would need a huge quantity of masks for customers, for companies, and they were not available in Europe. Our supply chain did a great job in sending directly some of our guys to China, be able to source directly the product and organize 45 direct flights from Shanghai to Geneva and Zurich in order to deliver all the medical accessories that were needed, masks, gel, etc. And then, so that was a supply chain. When we had the confirmation that we were receiving the goods, we had to build up a new B2B channel for us, for professional to be able to order and get delivered fast these items that were needed urgently. And if we had leftovers, let's say, uh, build up a channel B2C dedicated to COVID products. Around that, we had to build up a marketing strategy more around PR and communication, because as you know, it's not allowed to do any advertisement, paid ads around medical products or any COVID related um, products.
So you are referring especially to your masks for everyone campaign, right? Which
Yeah,
was
exactly.
incredibly, yeah, an incredible initiative. And yeah, how Yeah, you already described some challenges here with logistics, but how did you came up with this idea? And was it your idea, or can you tell us a little bit more about this campaign?
No, it was basically the idea of two persons, Mr. Abdallah Shatila, who is owner of big companies in the construction sector here in Geneva and
Mhm.
in Switzerland, and my CEO. So it's both. They had a dinner and they discussed and they say, "Hey, how will we operate if we're not able to have the protective equipment for our team, so for us, for our warehouse, to be able to deliver securely goods to our clients." And he had the same challenge with his in the construction for his teams. He has more than 5,000 employees, and he couldn't find neither masks with the confederation, and that's where they joined. So let's say Abdallah had the finance to be able to buy the mask, and we had all the logistic knowledge and the e-commerce platform to be able to distribute those equipments.
Mhm.
And that's how it came up. They just called me one morning and said, "Hey, we had a talk the day after." They just told me, "We had a talk yesterday. We have this idea. We know that within 2 weeks we can have the first cargo flight landing in Geneva.
Mhm.
Can you be ready?" So
Okay, great.
uh, and that was very challenging, just in 2 weeks to build up new channel uh, and be able to communicate around this initiative.
Yeah, I can believe that.
It by the way, all this initiative, it was a non-profit initiative, so we didn't make any profit out of the selling of protective materials.
That's great. That's great. And what do you think as a leader and yeah, a CMO? How important are such social responsibility campaigns, yeah, for brands in a post-pandemic world?
Uh, well, I think it's something that will be more and more important, the social responsibility of companies. And so it's a topic we've been working on for several years. So we were already ready for it. The thing, what we see, especially with the new generation and with all the questions that came around this sanitary situation, is that how can we do things differently and better in order to not have a negative impact on the society. Um, and for us, this means that we have 4 business lines, but in the food delivery service, we want all our couriers to have a working contract with the same working conditions and protections that any other employee. When we talk about our supply chain and our uh, and the delivery of packages, we try to reduce, thanks to the automation of some of the processes, the use of cardboard, the size of the parcels, in order to, and we have reduced by this way by between 30 and 50% the number of trucks for the deliveries. And we,
Great.
things like that, we try always to mitigate on negative impact in our commerce, in our retail um, functions.
Okay, great. So sustainability is also a big topic for you.
Yeah, because well, you can't lie to people with social media everywhere, where you have to be the most transparent possible with everybody, because anyways they will find the loopholes and anything that you say that is not trustworthy, uh, it, it will appear at some point with on social media. So we try to be as transparent as possible. If we have negative reviews, we will take them into account in order to improve the way we work, and we will try to understand what went wrong, but we will do it transparently, directly on the social media with our clients.
Oh, interesting. So you are actively basically answering to these reviews and acting based on them, right?
Yeah, and I ask my customer care, although it's not within the marketing team, but I always ask them, please try to be as transparent and to answer directly to the complaint, not with a generic answer, but try to personalize it based on the user past experience.
That's great. That's I guess very important. And I think customers expect that, right? That you also interact with them, and that you are basically a trusted brand, right?
Exactly, because anyway, they will see if you have 5 times the same answer in the reviews, in the negative reviews, they will just think that it's a bot that is answering and
Yeah,
not actually one of our employees in Switzerland.
yeah, that's true. And yeah, saying that, I think as a pure play e-commerce company, you've been dealing with a new reality, I would say for you, new reality of online shopping for years now, right? Where many traditional, I would say, brick and mortar stores are now just trying to catch up. What's your top advice for these marketers adjusting their strategy, digital transformation to support growing e-commerce or D2C efforts online? What's your advice to these companies?
First of all, you have to think mobile first. That's super important today. And it's always difficult for me to explain to the board members when you present a new platform or some changes. They will tell you, oh, but on the computer, you should do like that on a desktop because you always do your presentations on a desktop. And then I always uh, show them, no, look, 87% of the traffic in on mobile phones now. So we have to think mobile first, and then we will adapt it to the desktop format, but don't do the contrary. Do something that is wow on a desktop and not a good experience on mobile. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we are reluctant to be on most of the marketplaces because we think that there is no differentiator and it might kill your brand if you're a retailer. If you're a brand, that's different. But if you're a retailer and you're on all the marketplaces, then you will only compete on the price on these marketplaces and not on your service. The third thing um, is try to automate as much as possible, but keep your teams focusing on personalizing the experience. Keep having some people directly answering. Chatbots are great to simplify some of the experience, but at the end, you should always propose to have somebody live talking with your customers. That's super important. That's, let's say, the 3 first things I would recommend at first.
I mean, for me as basically yeah, providing a customer intelligence platform, personalization is also very important for a lot of our clients, right? Making the customers the right next best offer, next best action to better understand customers. What role is playing personalization, customer centricity for you and for your strategy in the future?
Well, for us, part of the personalization is also the ability in real time to mitigate a spammy attitude. So for us,
Mhm.
it's if we reach somebody with one channel, we will try not to reach him again on the same day, on the next couple of days, on another channel. We already try to have, let's say, a kind of CDP, which is, I think, what proposes your company. But we really try to understand what are the different touch points and to limit those touch points. And it's really what we've done. We reduced by 30% the volume of emails we send out to our customers just because we have merged some of these emails. For instance, if you subscribe to a brand alert, so when we talk about personalization, for us, it's always with the consent of our customers first. We want to be transparent on that. So instead of trying to understand what are their favorite brands, we just ask them, do you want to receive an alert whenever this brand is online, is coming online with your flash sale companies, or a brand will be online from 1 to up to 10 days, and then it won't be back maybe in a couple of months. So people can register in order not to miss the flash sale. And if they register, they will receive the alert on the day the flash sale is sent out, but they won't receive the normal newsletter in that day. We'll just add the content of the newsletter right after the alert. So it's some very simple things, but at the end, when people were receiving up to 5 emails before, because they had 3 brand alerts plus the newsletter plus maybe a purchase confirmation, now they just have 2 emails. The brand alerts with the content of the classical newsletter, and the purchase confirmation if they buy. We had also some life cycles around. When you have your purchase confirmation, the day after, you had for 30 days free shipping as part of our customer program. The same, this free shipping email has been included in the purchase confirmation. So the idea is really to limit, and that's one channel. And if you receive this newsletter, you won't receive push notifications on your app. Even if you have subscribed to both, we will just try to limit the number of touch points in order not to be spammy, because I hate it as a person. So I just apply to my customers what I consider as intrusive and spammy on my site.
So frequency capping is a important topic for you, and really just communicate in a personalized way when you need to, and basically just offer the right things and not all the different things to your customers.
Exactly.
And just offer them in via this channel that could work for this customer as well, right?
Yeah, on the CRM, I have the full control, and it's true that frequency capping, it's problematic for me when we go on other channels like display channel, because there today I don't have a full CDP that allows me to handle those display channels. So I use third-party solutions, and I don't have the control. It's a black box for me. I can just limit the budget, but I can't limit the frequency. I can't put a frequency cap on the display campaigns. And I know that on some of the remarketing tools that we use, if their algorithm considers that there is a great chance for this person to buy it in the next days, there is a high propensity of purchase in the coming days, they will put a lot of marketing pressure. And for me, that's very difficult to accept it, but that's some of the limitations we have today with our internal solutions that we use with the different
you
tools
need a
that we
more
use.
holistic view on your customer, basically.
Exactly. Not a holistic view of my customer, but more control over my different marketing touch points, especially the display ones.
Yeah, understand. And let's talk about your team. So how's your team structured?
So it's structured in three different teams. We have the retention marketing team, who will be in charge of all the existing customer database. We have the customer acquisition team. So it's, let's say, the performance marketing team, where their role is to acquire new customers or reactivate past customers, lapsed customers that have not bought over the last 12 months. And we have the creative design team, let's say the studio, where their role is more to work on our brand image and trying to bring some fun in our marketing.
Okay, I like the way you structure your team, because you do it a little bit based on the goal, right? You say you have some people focusing on retention, some people focusing on acquisition.
Exactly.
That's an interesting structure. So you are not basically structuring it functional, right? That you say you are doing, I don't know, search, you're doing display, you are doing CRM, but you really focus on the different goals, right?
Exactly. One team is in charge of spending money. That's the performance marketing team. I will ask them return on investment. And the other team is working on the client lifetime value. And their role is to increase the number of repeat purchases per year per customer and to avoid churn.
So it's a little bit customer relationship management, CRM, and performance marketing. This is basically the split.
Exactly. With
Okay,
two distinct different goals and
okay,
KPIs.
got it, got it. And what do you look for when you hire new marketing rock stars? What are the main skills that people should have?
um, Agility and the capability to say, I don't know, and I want to try something new, the curiosity, let's say. But it's very important for me to accept, for people to say that they made mistakes, because that means that they tried something, so that's good. But to be able to monitor the KPIs in order to quickly identify the mistakes they made and be able to learn from that and adapt very fast the strategy. That's
Mhm.
what we look for. So usually somebody who tells me that he knows everything and he is a guru, it will be very difficult for me to integrate him in the team, because maybe you won't accept to be challenged or to try new things. We always want, if we see something new, we want to try it very fast, to be one of the first to try it on the Swiss market and see whether or not it works for us. If it doesn't work, we switch to something else. So it's really, this agility is super important.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Especially in this fast-moving world, right?
Yeah,
And e-commerce business. I'm pretty sure you're working from home, or most of your. I think you are not working from home. You are in the office, but I think your team, most of the team members are working from home. I
yeah.
think technically, as an online or e-commerce company, it's working well for you. But how about the spirit, or the I would say the collaborative team environment and team spirit? How does it work in the home office when you don't see each other live for such a
It's
long time?
it's more difficult, let's say, to exchange ideas and try new things, because we don't hear each other. I love, we are in an open space, and we moved to a new open space because we want everybody to be together in order to hear what the other services are talking about, what are their topics, some challenges they have, because this can have an impact also on the marketing and the way we interact with our customers. So this, we missed it during the lockdown. And that's why I was super happy. And as soon as I could come back to the office, I came back to the office, just to be able to easily exchange and listen to all these different aspects of the business. It's super important. And that's what we miss the most. So
Yeah,
virtually, you can't do anything except organizing conference calls.
yeah.
There's not a lot you can do, but whenever we can, we ask our team to come at least once a week, if it's possible for them, uh, in order to be able to exchange and work together.
Okay, that's great. And I think that's very important. But I think what I experience as well is that the culture is getting lost a bit, right? Especially when you have new hires in the team, that you never met basically live, right? In real life, it's quite hard to adapt to catch up with them, and to adapt the culture and spirit, right?
Yeah, especially in a fast changing company like ours. Yeah, it's very challenging. I have a new colleague who started in February. So fortunately for him, lockdown was away 3 weeks after in Geneva, but still he hasn't met all the team yet. And I try to be as present and talk to him as much as possible. But I know it's challenging for him, and he doesn't know yet the full spirit of the company because we didn't have any team building event yet. Normally we have 2 to 4 times a year team buildings within the company with all the employees, the uh, whatever the role you have in the company, we all mix together. A nice thing in this new office is really focused on the employee experience, and we have a unique cafeteria for all the different offices. Either you work at the warehouse, in the marketing team, or in the IT. We have some times where we can all meet together, and it's great to be able to exchange and be seen all together as peers. And
Yeah.
you can't do that, unfortunately, virtually.
Yeah, that's true. And what do you think? How will this yeah, this way of, yeah, working home office remotely and so on, how will it develop?
Well,
Will all people
I,
be in the office in the future, or just half of the people, or just 2 days a week, or what do you think?
it will depend on the vaccines and what we learn from uh,
Let's
live
let's assume everything will be fine, but
from this COVID,
still.
but we don't know. But I think what has changed, the main change, is that we were not great fans of having home office. Already, it wasn't in the company culture, and that
Mhm.
completely switched. And I know that in the future, we will let people have 1 or 2 days uh, at home,
Okay.
uh, which wasn't the case before. I think that's the big change for us. It's really completely changed the way we were able to work all together.
Yeah, that's true. I think, yeah, I heard that from kind of a lot of companies, that home office was not, yeah, not that the companies were not a fan of home office in the past, but now it's quite the new normal, right?
Yeah.
Um, so we are now nearly half into 2021.
Yep.
What are your big marketing projects for the second half of the year?
So for the second half of the year, the big marketing project that we have is, let's talk about, like, we are structured in the teams, in performance marketing teams. It will be to test new marketing channels, new performance marketing channels. We see that Facebook, Instagram are less and less performing. So trying to see whether or not on the new social medias like TikTok, or on some other social medias that we were not working actively on, like Pinterest, if there we can try to find some new audience for us. So it's really test new channels. We'll try to beta test all the new um, Google products. Especially, we want to see how it performs with the free listings on Google Shopping. And the last thing for performance marketing, it will try to set up some dedicated algorithm to adapt in real time the CPC based on the expected performances of each product. So we have 400,000 products online daily. It can't be done manually. We can only adapt manually CPCs per category once a week or every other week. So there it's try to set up this kind of algorithm and APIs. That's very challenging. That's performance marketing. On the retention marketing team, CRM, there it's trying to switch more and more transactional emails that are handled by IT within our CRM, in order for us to easily adapt the content and make it look and feel like all other emails or communications that we send out, trying to have uh, always the same look and feel, either it's a transactional email or a marketing campaign. And it's also to get some tasks that are not interested for my IT into our CRM team. And that's a big change for us. Yeah.
Well, interesting. Thank you for these insights. I think we just have 2 minutes left. Perhaps the last question from my side.
Yeah.
How do you feel like you've changed as a leader since you joined the company, since you joined Dein Deal?
What I've changed is I've learned to delegate a lot to my team, and to delegate to also to third-party agencies. So it's really try to understand in my team what they like to do, what they would like to do, and make them really focus their job on these tasks, and everything that doesn't have an added value for my guys, delegate it to an agency who will be specialized. So we always look for best of breeds in each one of the solutions that we outsource, or the tasks, sorry, that we outsource. And then I let my team really use these agencies as part of the company, of course, with some limitations in terms of user rights. Always keep the control, but that's really what I've learned, that we could outsource parts of our tasks, but keeping the control on the strategy and the costs.
Perfect. Cool. So I would say we are on time now. We made it on time. Thank you, Arnaud, for this interesting chat. And I would like to hand over to Brand Innovators now again, because I think that the next session will start in a few seconds, right?
Thanks a lot, Stefan, and looking forward to talking to you about Zeotap in the future, because I will need a CDP maybe next year.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm happy to do
For
that.
the challenges I mentioned about display and marketing pressure.
Sure. Happy to do it.
Thank you so much, Stefan and Arnaud. Arnaud, if you don't mind, I was going to ask you one extra question that didn't quite make it into the session.
Yes, of course, Lisa, you're welcome.
Would that be okay? I talked about added value and your teams really defining added value and focusing on those tasks. I wanted to ask what the push and pull was between the business added value and the individual value, and how do you make those decisions?
It's ready to see the time they spend and how much revenue it will generate to the company. It's really what I look at. And so some of the tasks we really can automate. And for them, the more we automate, the more control we need. And that's where it's very important. In the added value, it's this analytics part, understand on a daily basis, every morning, twice a day, whether or not we're doing good. And if we need to adjust something, adjust it very fast. But yeah, the added value is really focused on return on ad spend for performance and on other KPIs for retention marketing.
Yeah, testing and learning quickly has been a really good theme today. So it's been really interesting to hear you talk about. I think the thing that I found incredibly powerful was when you talked about automation and the drive towards your business target. But at the end, if it isn't responding to a customer review, they know it and it sticks out. And I think that combination of automation technology, but you've got to have that human touch in there, was something that really grew. I thought that was really interesting. So thanks you both for the session.
Thank you.
Great to meet you both.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.